Hi. Yeah, I kind of didn't plan on doing this today, but Mike couldn't come over, so we couldn't record the stuff. So don't expect these to become regular. I'm probably going to end up doing 3, though, because of Mike's where he lives and how difficult it is to get him over here. So these are about the history of the Halo universe. The in-universe, not outside the actual universe. I'll save that for another time. They're going to be kind of short, and they're going to be themed. This particular episode is going to be about the history of the UNSC in general and the Spartan Project in particular. Okay, let's see. The UNSC was formed because of... because there was a war in the solar system in the late, I think it was 2300s. And there were 3 sides to the war, basically Bolshevists, fascists, and the UN. The UN eventually won the war and established themselves as the sole remaining government of humanity, really. And it was around this time that the Shah-Fujika drive was discovered. This drive allowed ships to travel faster than light in between star systems, making it feasible for the first time to actually send out colonization waves. These colonization took an unprecedented rate, and within about 100 years, there were 800 planets. I think it was about like 2 or 3 dozen of them were on similar scales to Earth as far as actual population development goes. The most important of these, as far as the military was concerned, was Reach, because that was where Fleet Main Command and etc. was. However, they don't really list any other ones, but you can be sure they're there. Now, it was around the beginning of the 2500s that the cracks began to show in the UNSC. Around this time, the outer colonies started to become restless and engage in civil war. Not outright civil war, obviously, but guerrilla campaigns for liberation from the UNSC. So I believe this is why the UNSC started the Spartan 1 program. Now, this program was done... it was where they would take soldiers and then enhance their strength and endurance and reflexes to superhuman levels, or near superhuman levels. Now, although the enhancements themselves were successful, the actual project was a failure because of the fact that the enhancements didn't actually have the didn't actually enhance the soldiers to the level they had hoped. So, and the soldiers themselves didn't have the right kind of mindset or anything to do it. Didn't have the right mindset, was my point. National script. So, though the program itself was a failure, the concept was proven. Also, the mortality rate for the Spartan 1 program was high because of the fact that they hadn't really done proper genetic testing, and those who did survive had significant mental problems. There were a few people that survived without these mental problems, and one of them is, Sergeant Johnson. He's the Black Marine, as Mike pointed out in the opening video. He gave the speech to the other Marines. Now, like I said, it was proof of concept, but a failure in practice. So they moved on to the Spartan 2 program. The Spartan 2 program was supposed to do the same thing.
I'm just making sure that I got them up here.
Okay, sorry. People were talking in the background. I wanted to hear if they were talking to me. It was proof of and the concept that was proven. Sorry, gotta cut this stuff. Okay, Spartan 2s were taken at a much younger age and much better screened for genetic instability. And let's see, there were 150 viable candidates that were found throughout the UNSC. I would imagine there are far more in practice, but because they hadn't genetically tested everyone, and also because candidates had to fit into a specific age range of about 6 years old. Now, the Master Chief was one of these original 75 candidates, and they were all kidnapped and flash cloned in their sleep one night and brought to Reach for training. This was in 2517. The training program was long, it was harsh, and it lasted until about 2025. Through this time, Master Chief became the de facto leader because of his, I guess, charisma and his luck. Master Chief's designation is Spartan 117 for reference. Okay, gotta cut these out. Okay, the program was headed up by Dr. Catherine Halsey, and the training was actually done by, what is his name, Mendez. SCPO Franklin Mendez, which stands for Senior Chief Petty Officer. Now, 2525, they did the actual genetic augmentation process. Up until then, they had only been trained, not actually enhanced. Even so, they were still better than actual Marines at fighting. The enhancements left about only 30 Spartans, or only 33 Spartans in operational status. 30 were killed and 12 others were crippled. Now, it was also 2525 that Reach happened. Or not Reach, Harvest. Harvest was first contact between humans and an alien species, and things didn't go so well. The defenders were quickly overwhelmed and destroyed, and eventually Harvest was retaken at a cost of 2 ships. The battle fleet consisted of 3 ships, and they had them outnumbered 3 to 1. The next segment will pick up during the intervening years up to probably the fall of Reach. Okay, peace out.